historical Jesus, and they talk about Jesus, and they could tell you from the time he came down, he was in the manger, all the way down to the cross. And some can probably go to the book of Acts. But that's the historical Jesus. Paul knew him of whole nother measure. Paul knew him as the ascended Lord. That's why he wrote in 2 Corinthians, we don't know him no more after the flesh. And so we got to be a people that don't know him no more after the flesh. What he did on the streets at Jerusalem and what he did on the shores of Galilee was great and awesome. And without them, we can't enjoy him on the right hand of the Father right now. You need that building block. But we need to know his present day ministry in the church. And that is what we're called to do. Which was, which is, and is to come. We need the whole thing. But some people just say what was. They can tell you what he's doing now, and they can't tell you what he's going to do later. And that's why we stay on historical Jesus. And that's why we spend, and that's what, when you go to seminary, that's what they do. They show you historical Jesus. That's what we was talking about.
Well, let me ask you this. Is that the same thing, like, for instance, if you say, just like the scripture says, if your eye offend you, pluck out your eye. Now, sure he didn't mean pluck out your eye.
No, he didn't.
So if you only know what the logos are saying for that, you may think that he's saying pluck out your eye. But it's another side to that. Well, maybe you don't know that side.
What he really meant. Yeah. They call them idioms. And that's what a lot of what Jesus said, he was talking about idioms. That means to have something similar saying, but it's a saying underneath it. And that's what happened. Even when he told him, he said, you take up serpents, or you drink any deadly thing. Folks, really, Pentecostal folks started drinking deadly stuff and started taking up real snakes because of the letter. And they knew instruction, but they didn't know inspiration. You need to know what the Spirit of God is truly saying. That's why Jesus would say, you have heard it said. He said, verily I say unto you. But then he'll go and say, he'll tell you, well, at first he said, you have heard it said. Then he'll say, verily I say unto you. He said, you got instruction from Moses, but let me interpret what Moses meant. Because when it says that he came to fulfill the law, that means he came to bring life back. It's the word plural. It means he came to put the Spirit back into the law. And that's what happens when we read just the Bible. And that's, so that's some of our religious education. That's why we have all these denominations, because we're too afraid. We won't control. I'm thinking about the word. Egomaniacs. we basically are egomaniacs when it comes to that. So we got to go beyond just the letter. Let's go to the next point. Thank God we are the gourds. How much more time I got? Oh, beautiful. Verse 39 says what? It says, and one went gourds, his lap full, till they knew him not. That's the key. They what? Knew him not. That's point number 7. They knew not. Not knew him not, but they knew not. So when they went, they had no understanding. They had no inside information. That word knew is an intimate word.
Oh, something I wrote down is that they couldn't perceive, they didn't find out, couldn't discern, wasn't skillful, wasn't wise.
That's good stuff.
Yeah, that's what I got from when I looked at knew not.
So basically, we need to be able to be trained. We need to be instructed. We need to be able to learn. It's a lack of understanding. We need to be able to understand. Remember Jacob, he was in a place called Luz and went to sleep. And angels was ascending and descending, and he knew it not. God was having church. He did this in 28, like we do sometimes. We be snoring in church. And God wanted the angels ascend and descend. It's interesting that they ascend before they descend. So it starts with us. Bethel is the house of God. So that's we got to know him. We got to get into a relationship with him.
But some things we just, some things we just like what we talked about the wild vine. Sometimes we go to a place that has no structure or no order, and then we bring something back, and we don't really know what we have.
That's a good point.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we don't really know what we have, and we bring it back, and it said we knew not. We have no idea of what we really have. We won't allow nobody to inspect it, but we bring it and we want to implement it into the house that we're going to, because maybe we wasn't received at the other house.
Yeah, that's good stuff. More than likely, that's what it was.
That's why you bring it from there, because if it was that good, it would have stayed there. You would have stayed there with it.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
But now we come to a place where we knew not. And I think that what the thing that God is doing is He's bringing us back to a place where we have understanding,
yes.
where we're having a revelation of something. And now we're getting to know as we're known.
We're in a good time. We really no excuses. You know, we can spend time with the Holy Ghost. It was about 40, 50 years ago, you couldn't have that opportunity. If you go further back, you only had a caste system that could represent God. You couldn't go in to see Him. Now, man, you can go see Him anywhere. Your altar is your heart.
Amen.
You don't even have to go and get your, I know y'all keep doing your thing, go get your altar, you got it in the basement, that's cool. But I'm a portable unit. You know, no matter where I go, as inspired by the Holy Ghost, I can just break off in something. You know, because I can know Him now. I don't need no representation. I don't need nobody. You know, all leaders do is help you define them and bring clarity and clear up the fogginess. See, we wrestle with stuff when we get from people because we don't trust them.
Amen.
But if you had a foundation, you were building your life with the Lord, had an intimate relationship with the Lord, and then you come into the house of God and get confirmation. I used to love that when I used to go to Raw Faith Center and get the confirmation of the Lord.
Yes.
That's reassuring.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
You like, so you're not a meal on wheels, you like a meal with shoes on.
Pretty much. But so we got to get to the point that we know Him. All of us know Him.
Yes.
They spent all their time in the presence of the son of the prophet, spent that time with Elijah, and still they were limited in understanding.
Amen.
And I bet you they picked gourds. I mean, not gourds, but they probably went out to pick certain things at certain times, but they were limited in their understanding. Yeah, I'm sure. It was common for Him to send them out to do certain things. Yeah. He was in camp and they went out. But I believe God is raising up people, and they're going to be New Testament people. Where it says from the least
To the greatest.
that's it, man.
It even said that it was that the disciples had spent a lot of time with Jesus, but it was things that disciples really didn't even know concerning Him until He was ascended.
Till He was ascended.
Then they said, "Oh, that's what He was saying."
This is what He meant. We got the Spirit. He's here. He lives on the inside of us. So it shouldn't be a mystery. We want to try to say, well, everything's a mystery. Oh, if you're lazy. If you're lazy, if you don't have habits, if you don't have devotional skills that you already spend time with the Holy Ghost, so that when you get around, you can be Elizabeth, get around Mary, and your belly leaps. You know what I'm saying? Because you have the initial deposit of what God is doing in the house. Instead of me trying to impregnate you with purpose, you're already pregnant when you come to the house.
Amen.
Yeah,
You know something I thought about when I just said that it was certain things that they didn't know until He was risen. Now, when you think about it, you said now it's certain things that they didn't know until they knew He had risen.
Right.
And that's the same way with us. There's certain things we won't understand till we know that He's risen.
That's good stuff.
Yeah.
So we know in part for a while. But then all of a sudden that veil is removed. And you know, even as you know,